Hi, I'm Greg with HR Marketing, and in this video I'm going to talk about what happens if your ads get rejected for the weapons, ammunition, or explosives policy on Facebook or the guns policy on Google. And we're going to share the real secret to getting your tactical ads approved. And the reason for this is because we know that running a tactical or military brand can be difficult, We know that's because we have been running our own tactical brands for over 5 years and having to deal with all kinds of Facebook ads and Google ads policies on a daily basis. We had accounts banned, we had business managers banned, we had ads rejected, and we have been dealing with that. And we want folks to avoid the pain and disappointment from getting exactly the same treatment. And we're going to share our top findings from spending over 7 figures on these platforms and how to get around and deal with these issues and get them fixed. So number one mistake that we see often is basically not knowing ads policies in the first place. It is very common that someone starts advertising and doesn't check the Google ads, Facebook ads policies, and isn't aware of what is and what is not allowed. The policies are written as vaguely as possible, of course, and it's on purpose. So the policy teams have some leeway and room for interpretation, and it kind of goes both ways, in your favor and against you, depending on the flavor of the day. But not knowing some simple little details that are written in the policy, for example, that you need to target your ads to users over 18 for your accessories, and targeting just to everyone, that can land you in hot water almost immediately. Another thing is there's an announcement blog for both Facebook and Google where they share their policy updates, sometimes very quietly, and not checking that is also potentially a mistake. Why? Because, for instance, in January of 2021, Facebook has quietly imposed a temporary ban on the category for weapons, accessories, and training during the U.S. President's inauguration ceremony, and it was off for about 2 to 3 weeks. All the ads were getting banned, and we found out by accident that this was happening by somebody posting in a Facebook group that they found this announcement from Facebook on the temporary ban of this category. So bottom line, make sure you study the policies first, and then keep an eye out in the policy announcements area, and make sure to try to follow it to the best of your ability. So number 2 mistake is, let's say you have checked the policies and you made sure that your ads are compliant, but then the website still contains some items that are not allowed by Facebook or Google policies. So for instance, you may be selling just accessories and apparel and stuff like that, but there's a page that sells knives and other things that aren't allowed. So eventually what's going to happen is the crawlers, the bots, or even the human reviewers will scan the website, find those items, and your ads will get rejected, or worse, your accounts will get banned. This happens on Google Merchant Center, this happens on Facebook ads. So definitely, if you have a mix of products, we recommend separating them into separate domains, and then you have the one that you advertise with Google and Facebook, which is super clean and does not contain any of the items that they don't allow, and then you have another site which maybe you are promoting organically or through email, which contains the rest of your items. Another thing similar to this is that your Facebook page and your Instagram account, make sure it does not contain any of those items being promoted organically either, because Facebook will be checking for that. And next is mistake number 3, using images and videos that are going to get your ads rejected. And we obviously found out the hard way from years of advertising different accessories and gadgets related to firearms, and we would have to combat these rejections almost on a daily basis. So we found this through interaction with the policy team and the reviewers, and some of these are kind of unwritten rules that they use in the background. So some of them are straight from the policy. So the two big things for images and videos is the use of guns and weapons in them, and realize it's sometimes impossible to describe a product without using these props. So ideally, if you can avoid the use of firearms and those restricted items in your ads, that's great, but it's not always possible. You got to show to make sure that the ad works. So one thing is try to minimize the amount of real estate that the prop, the firearm, takes up in your ad. So this was a tip that we got from one of the Facebook reviewers, basically making your product the hero of the shot and not the prop. So in this image on the left, it looks like the AR-15 is taking up a lot more space on the image versus the image on the right, where the optical sight is actually the main thing that the user sees in the image. Also, nothing that looks threatening or involves brandishing a weapon, pointing it at the viewer, that's not allowed. So basically, those are the two biggest things when it comes to images and videos, to avoid getting them rejected. And number 4 mistake is not working with the policy team. So sometimes you will get these rejections no matter what. So sometimes we see people just kind of walk away and give up, or they try to just delete the ad in one campaign and copy it into another. That's not the best course of action. The best course of action is to use the appeal in review. And as you can see, oftentimes you can get it overturned, and if not, you can always reach out to the support on chat. Google and Facebook ads both have chat support, and you basically say, hey, we are very serious about compliance, we see these rejections, we want to make sure that we get it right, we think we follow everything in the policy, we don't have any rejected items, can you help us? And we think this is a false positive, and it tends to work. So essentially, work with the policy team, be patient, be polite, and if you truly followed the advice from the mistakes 1, 2, and 3 above, then in this case, if you work with the policy team directly, you will get 9 times out of 10 you will get your ads reviewed and reapproved. So this is it. We hope you can take these lessons and get them implemented in your business and avoid ads rejections and account rejections as much as you can. Thank you. If you want the PDF with this cheat sheet, just click the link below the video, and it will take you to the page where you can download it. Thank you.